Hi, and welcome to week 3, video 3. In this video, I want to talk to you about kind of how to up your game with your resume. Now, those of you who have been receiving my emails for a while or who've watched my videos, you know, like my number one rule for your resume is to tailor your resume to the specific position that you're applying for. I want to go over the basic steps on how you do that so that you're clear about a strategy that you can use to make sure that you're staying on track and that you're not doing what the typical job seeker does, which is they start creating their resume. They start thinking about like all the amazing, wonderful things that they've done, and they start just putting all that in their resume. And over half of it is not really relevant to the position, but they think they just have to like stuff their resume with all this stuff so that it looks impressive to a recruiter. If you want to impress a recruiter, make sure that your resume is tailored to the specific position. And there are a couple of basic steps that you can do to do that. So the first thing you need to do is pull up that job description that you're applying for. The second thing that you need to do, or the second step, is to read through the bullet points on that job description. The third thing that you need to do is by bullet point, you need to ask yourself, is this something that I can do? Yes or no. If the answer is yes, then you immediately need to create a bullet point that proves that you have that qualification. Y'all, it is that simple. I say it's simple. You know, it's not that simple because you still have to come up with the verbiage, but the strategy is simple. As you continue to use that strategy, your vocabulary, your corporate vocabulary will begin to increase. You will begin to identify the top qualifications for the job. You'll begin to see those keywords, like they'll just start jumping off the page at you. You will also start to kind of embody and internalize is the right word. Internalize the vocabulary that is used in the corporate world. So I just had to say one more time, please, focus your resume, tailor your resume to the specific job title. I don't care what anybody tells you. To the specific job. And then there are a couple of other mistakes that I'm seeing over and over when I do the free resume reviews for teachers, and even when I'm working with teachers one-on-one on their resume. The second thing is, check your formatting on your resume. Like, please don't have, 10 different font sizes or styles on your resume. Once you create that resume, take a step back, close your eyes, and then look at it with a fresh eye. Maybe even click at different points on the page and just make sure that you're using a consistent font style and a consistent font size. It really, for somebody who looks at resumes all day, every day, we immediately notice it if, your formatting is off, right? So just check that. The third thing that I wanted to talk to you about, just making sure that your resume is on point, is to keep your professional summary or highlight of qualifications tightly focused on the top qualifications for the job. I cannot stress that enough. A recruiter is really not going to be as impressed with your vocabulary and the flowery adjectives that you use. They're not going to be as impressed with that as they are going to be with you just being very clear about what your top qualifications for the job are. So let's start with that. And then once you have that, if you want to add an adjective or two, you're good, right? But let's not start with trying to impress with our vocabulary or, using those adjectives to try to pump ourselves up. If you have the right qualifications and you communicate them clearly and succinctly, that is what the recruiter really wants and is looking for, okay? And then the last thing that I want to share with you is just ensure that everything on the resume is relevant to the job. And I've said that, in different ways up to this point, but let me just give you an example of what I mean. So several months ago, maybe even over a year ago, I was talking to a teacher, and she was a swim coach, and she was, I don't understand swimming, but she was in a special group of swimming coaches who had something to do with like the national swim team or something, and she was told that she should put that on her resume. Now, and I asked her to take it off. So the reason that I had her to take it off is because, one, she didn't have space for it on her resume. Like, she had a pretty full work history. It went back a full 10 years. She had done some amazing things, and that's what the space really needed to be used for. She was really pretty adamant that, she wanted to put the her swimming, what's the word I'm looking for? She wanted to add that swimming piece to her resume because she thought it would kind of get their attention and show that she had this high level of achievement. And she's not wrong. But where things kind of went to the left is that those type of things go better on your LinkedIn profile, and they make really fantastic stories for the interview. So I said all that to just say, we want to give the recruiter a resume that is clear, succinct, and focused on the job description. First, if you have more space and if it's relevant, then go ahead and add some of the more interesting things that you've done in your life. Otherwise, I would suggest that you leave it on your LinkedIn profile, because that is where it really belongs. That is where you have that about section, and you can just go to town. Like, you can just talk about all the amazing things that you've done. You can also do a little bit of that in your interview. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Please take my advice on those resumes. I literally have on my computer hundreds of teachers' resumes, and they start off pretty much all making those same mistakes. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. We're going to get right into our next video, which is going to be about... I forgot what the next video was about, guys. So click on the next video to find out. Thank you.